Hi everyone, Dr. Lisa here. In today's video, we're going to talk about safer options for shaving cream for both men and women. You might be surprised to hear that shaving cream is actually one of the dirtiest personal care products out there. It's made up of a number of ingredients, the vast majority of which actually do have harmful effects on our health. So I'm going to go through a few of the chemicals that are in there that we want to avoid. And then, as always, listed below are some safer, non-toxic options for both men and women. So to start us off, some of the ingredients that we want to avoid. Number one, glycols. And this is a broad category of ingredients that includes propylene glycol, ethylene glycol, and butylene glycol. Now, these are put into products to help skin retain and absorb moisture, and it allows liquids to spread more evenly so that you don't have clumps on your face or on your legs when you're shaving. But it can also lead to dry skin, skin irritation, and as levels build up in our system over time, it can actually lead to kidney and blood disorders. Next up are sulfates. We talked a little bit about this when we were talking about finding a safer toothpaste. So these ingredients are sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS, sodium laureth sulfate, SLES, and then also ammonium lauryl sulfate. These agents are put into products to help them foam, which is something that we're all used to having with a shaving cream, right? But they are linked to dry skin, skin irritation, and even some additional health concerns. So what's really important to note is that if you are somebody who has sensitive skin, or you're finding that there are certain products that do not agree with your skin, more than likely it is these toxic or harmful chemicals that are causing that skin irritation or sensitivity that you're experiencing. So switching to safer options, you would probably see that go away. Next up, this is a really long one, polytetrafluoroethylene, a huge long word that actually is a component of Teflon, the non-stick coating on our cookware. And Teflon, the ingredients in that, or the chemicals in that, we know can leach into our food and cause health issues, particularly when they're used over a long period of time. So we want to avoid putting something like that directly on our skin, which we know our skin absorbs and then gets into our system. Next one, commonly abbreviated as BHT. You see this as a preservative. It's called butylated hydroxytoluene, and it is a preservative, like I said, that we do want to stay away from. Something that I forgot to mention about the ingredient that's in Teflon, that is actually ranked as the 37th most toxic chemical according to the Agency for Toxic Substances and Diseases. So out of all the chemicals, and there are tens and tens of thousands of chemicals out there, this one is number 37. So really want to stay away from Teflon, and I will do a safer switches for cookware video coming up very soon. Next up, ingredients called triethanolamine, diethanolamine, and monoethanolamine, often abbreviated as TEA, DEA, and MEA. These are also foaming agents, and they are linked to hormone disruption. So remember that hormone disruption is something that we want to prevent because it throws off our body's natural hormone balance. And that can lead to things like cancer because, for example, in women, if we are adding additional estrogen to our body, that estrogen, our body doesn't know what to do with, and so it kind of runs around and is just causing trouble, often in the form of cancer and breast cancer specifically. So for men, that happens to affect sperm count, sperm viability, and can even lead to testicular cancer. So hormone disruptors are a huge class of chemicals that we want to try and avoid as much as possible. Of course, all of our shaving creams, a lot of the shaving creams contain fragrance because we think our products need to smell amazing in addition to performing their function. There are other ways, safer ways to get a very nice scented product than using the kind of catch-all phrase that beauty companies and personal care product companies use these days with fragrance. And the big sticking point with fragrance is that companies don't have to disclose what ingredients make up fragrance, and that literally can be hundreds, if not thousands, of different chemicals hiding behind that one word. If you want to know more about that, check out my YouTube channel specifically for the video on fragrance. Fragrance often includes hormone disruptors, and so again, really want to stay away from that. And we want to work with companies that are transparent about the ingredients that we're using and that are in their products so that we can make well-informed choices as consumers and what we're putting on our bodies. Okay, now there are actually many more chemicals in shaving cream, but I don't want to bore you with 20 minutes of explaining all of them. So those were kind of some of the highlights. And so listed below, I have some non-toxic recommendations for both men and women. And ladies, know that even though a product may be marketed toward men, there's no reason why we can't use it as well. A lot of times, there's nothing different about the product that you see on the market except one is pink and one is blue. For example, just trying to appease both genders there. So know that even though I might be recommending what seems like a men's product for us ladies to use, it's totally fine. They are both intended for the same purpose. So if you have a non-toxic shaving cream that you love, post it in the comments below because we'd love to hear about it. See you all next time.